My name is NORASLEYANA SALLEH. I like this course because this course exposed myself with Malaysian history and also the currently economic Malaysian since this pandemic.
My name is AFIFAH HUSNA. I like this subject because I can see Malaysia and other countries not only from economic perspective but also from political and social aspect. I also learn how to find accurate data from docent.
I'm SITI AMALIN. I like this course because I could learn more about the Malaysian economy and also how to find data from the docent. Other than that, I also learned how to find international data from other websites such as the World Bank. This kind of knowledge is very useful for my future.
I have learned a lot from this course, such as foreign direct investment in Malaysia, Industry 4.0, fiscal and monetary policy in Malaysia, and so on. The part I like it most is Malaysian economy, history and transformation, because I'm very interested in history, and I have learned the history and policy of Malaysian economy in this topic.
I am NURAINA Nisa binti SHUKOR. I like this course because it exposed me how to do presentation and got source in a right way.
Hi, I am MURNI binti ABDULLAH. From this class, I have learned the history and Malaysian economy development before independence until now. For example, the structure and policy of the country's economic development in domestic and global perspective. What I like about this class is that I was able to review and analyze the country's economic performance, understanding government policy, and identify economic and social factors that drive the economy development country.
My name is SUHAIMI bin ISMAIL. I like this course because I can learn the role of government in shaping economic development in Malaysia since achieving independence from the Britain in 1957.
Hi, I'm FAIRUZZAH binti YUSOFF. I like this course because it exposed me to the economy of our country and also the economy abroad. And I really enjoy to know more about this, especially how to get the data.
I'm Sabrina binti Muhammad. I like this course because the lecturer usually teach us something that we haven't even known before, such as how to read or present a data and more. During this class, I can learn a lot of economic plans or strategies for our leaders that can lead our country to become Malaysia that well known in the whole world today.
The first 3 cases was detected in Malaysia on 25 January 2020, which is 3 Chinese nationals from Wuhan who entered Malaysia from Singapore. The first wave of infection in Malaysia from 25 January to February 2020 encompassed 22 cases. It was dealt with fairly quickly through immediate isolation of the patient and treatment. The Ministry of Health (MOH) also advised people not to travel to China if they do not need. However, in mid-March 2020, the government has imposed Movement Control Order or MCO within 14 days, but announced by Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin as a Prime Minister at that moment. Government also closed all borders and banned interstate travel due to an increase in the number of cases of infection nationwide caused by the tablet cluster. Unfortunately, the MCO continued because of the increasing cases of COVID-19 and have several new clusters. Strict protocols were also implemented to stop the spread of infection, such as wearing face masks, the use of hand sanitizer, 1 meter distance between people, so it can help to decrease infection rate among society to stop the spread.
Now, I will explain about the situation of COVID-19 at beginning in Malaysia and the number and details of COVID-19 in Malaysia. Malaysia reported the first 3 cases on 25 January 2020, all of whom were Chinese nationals who had visited the country. By 30 January, the number of cases had risen to 8. By February 15, the number of cases in Malaysia increased to 22, consisting of 12 persons under investigation. Most of the cases in the first wave were import cases of Chinese nationality and cross contact, while only 2 cases were of location transmission. After the 22 cases, no new case was reported for 11 days. All cases of the first wave recovered from the infection. This data is the statistic of COVID-19 about total confirmed case, active case, recovered, and deaths. it can be seen that all the data are worldly and have rising sharply from July 2021. This period is also the most severe time of the pandemic in our country. In response to a surge of cases originating in Korea, the Malaysian government imposed a ban on visitors from Korea on 26 February 2020. Malaysia experienced a spike in COVID-19 cases following a 4-day Dappling Jamaah event that was held at Kuala Lumpur Masjid Jamek Seri Petaling between 27 February and 1 March 2020. By 20 March, 48% of the country's COVID-19 cases had been linked to the Seri Petaling Dappling cluster. In response to the rise in cases nationally, Ministry Muhyiddin Yassin announced that Malaysia will enter into a hard lockdown on 18 March 2020. On 17 March, Malaysia reported its first to die from the COVID-19. On April 2 and 3, there was a drastic increase in daily cases in the country to above 200 cases per day. On 10 April, the government extended the movement control order until 28 April. At the end of April 2020, daily cases in the country has shown a decline when registering double-digit daily cases. In this figure, we can see that the shape of the new confirmed case is like zigzag and increased to August 2021, about 23,000. After that, it started increased but still more than 12,000 in a day. From the end of September to the beginning of October, Malaysia had a third wave of outbreaks. We can see it started from the 5 October, Malaysia recorded 432 cases. In the end of the October, it recorded about 1,222 cases, as the highest number of the cases of to date. Until the 26th December 2020, a record number about 2,335 new cases were confirmed that day. It was the highest in the 2020. On 23 June 2021, Malaysia officially surpassed Chinese death numbers. On 20 August 2021, Malaysia reached a daily highest in cases of 23,564 new cases, bringing the cumulative total to 1.5 million. On the 13th September 2021, the data exceeded the 21,000 figure. On 14th September 2021, the total number of cases reached to the 2 million mark. Until recently, the number of confirmed began to slowly decline, but the number of confirmed per day still exceeded 10,000. This figure is about the distribution of cases by stage in Malaysia until 25 September 2021, and we can see that the highest case is in Selangor and the lower case is in Paris.
MCO prohibit mass movement and all gatherings at all places nationwide, including religious activities, and demands closure of all business premises, except manufacturers, suppliers, and food outlets. All places of worship must close and halt activities, including the Muslim Friday prayer. All Malaysians also be banned from travelling overseas, and the closure for all preschools, schools, and pre-university institutions. Violators of the MCO are subject to a fine amounting to 1,000 ringgit and a maximum of 6 months imprisonment. The Malaysian government reviews the implemented measures based on the current country's pandemic situation from time to time. Every state is under different phases in 4 phases in Pelan Pemulihan Negara. SOP for phase 1 under PPN that has changed, which is accounting services are allowed for 16% capacity. SOP for phase 2 allow many sectors to reopen from 8 AM until 8 PM. Interstate travel for married couples living apart subject to police approval or an emergency. SOP for third phase allow economic activities to resume except those with high COVID-19 transmission rates. In district travel will be permitted. 3 passengers limit for private activities, dine-in, and so on will be allowed. Lastly, for the fourth phase, normalcy can be returned and almost all sectors will be able to reopen to boost the economy.
The impact of COVID-19 on Malaysians' economy can be seen via high unemployment rate. This is shown in a figure unemployment. Unemployment rate has exceeded 4% for the quarterly since 2020. This is not a good phenomena because there is a negative trend in the labor force on participation rates. The tourism sector in Malaysia play an important role in boosting economic growth by promoting foreign spending on goods and services in Malaysia. If the number of tourists continuously decrease, some of the tourism industry will be forced to shut down due to unbear losses. Consumer spending is totally important in an economy because it can determine economic health. If consumers do not spend their money in the market, this will cause the cash flow to become less fluent. This figure has proven that the current consumer spending in the market is not healthy. The relative level of economic health can be determined by the foreign exchange rate. This is because the foreign exchange rate plays a fundamental role in the country's level of trade. Weaker exchange will lead to cost push inflation as the cost of important raw materials are rising. This will impact almost all the sectors.
Next is the economic measure taken by the government, each for managing the national economy and helping the people and business affected by PKP. First is the economic management by the government. The change to government spending behavior in effort to influence the economy very important. Therefore, to ensure that the economy can be stimulated, the government has increased the spending in 2021 budget to more than 322 billion ringgit compared to 279 billion ringgit in 2020. However, expansionary fiscal policy can result in rising interest rate and accelerating inflation. In 2020, Bank Negara Malaysia made the announcement to the fourth time that they would cut the OPR rate. The current OPR rate complements other monetary, financial and fiscal measures to cushion to the economic impact on business and household and support the improvement in economic activity. Next is helping the people. The government had also announced the largest cash assistance in the country's history through Bantuan Prihatin Nasional BPN amounting to 18 billion ringgit, which had benefit 11 million recipients. The BPN assistance had given a lot of relief to the people and some even use it as capital for small business. Other than that, government also announced a 6-month bank loan moratorium to all individual borrowers and micro entrepreneurs to help them weather the economy affected of the COVID-19 pandemic. Next is business continuity planning. The wage subsidy program WSP has been a blessing to employees grappling with cash flow while struggling to retain their workers. Until the subsidy were rolled out, most employers thought they had to close their business. Other than that, government also announced employment insurance system for productivity and loan repayment deferrals at the final discretion of the bank.
As we all know that our government was introduced a lot of economic stimulus package this pandemic to stimulate our economic. So that I found there were 9 of type economic stimulus package that our government introduced. On 27 March 2020, our Prime Minister had announced the first people-centric economic stimulus package, also known as Prihatin package. As we all know that this package highlight 3 main objectives. The first one is about protecting rakyat, the second one is about supporting businesses, and the third one is about the strengthening economy. Okay, we move to the next slide. In this slide, we show there are 10 initiatives from our government was implemented in this Prihatin package. Like as we can see, there are moratorium, Lestari, and there are a lot of initiatives from rakyat since this pandemic to help our economy Malaysian. After our government had introduced about Prihatin package, our government was introduced or implemented the new package which is Prihatin PKS Tambahan, and the main objective is supporting businesses, especially SME. And the initiative, as you guys can see in my slide right now. After introduce Prihatin PKS Tambahan, our government had announced the new package economic is National Economic Recovery Plan, also known as Penjana. Penjana package highlight the 3 main of objective. The first one is about empowering rakyat, and the second one is about propelling businesses, and the third one is the main objective. Our main objective is stimulate our economy. Under Penjana package, there are 40 initiatives from government to make sure the objective of this Penjana will reach. I can't mention it one by one because it will take time, so I hope you guys can read it by yourself. Next is about Kita Prihatin Economic Stimulus Package, and the highlight of the objectives was about reducing the burden of the people, maintaining jobs, and also the supporting businesses, especially SME. And the initiative from government, as we can see, was about Bantuan Prihatin 2.0 and others. We move to the next slide. In this slide, we show the Pelindungan Ekonomi dan Rakyat Malaysia Assistance Package, also known as PERMAI. Under PERMAI package, highlight three objectives. The first one is combating the COVID-19 outbreak, safeguarding the welfare of the people, and supporting business continually. The example of initiative from government about PERMAI package, as you guys can see in this slide, for example, like Bantuan Subsidi Upah 3.0 and also Sokongan Bil Elektrik. There are a lot of initiative from government under this package, and I hope you guys. Next, our government introduced about strategic program to empower the people and economic, also known as Pemerkasa. Under the Pemerkasa package was highlight four main objectives. The first one is curtail the spread of COVID-19. The second one, drive economic recovery. And third one, strengthening national competitiveness. And also the last one is ensure a regional and community inclusion agenda. Like example, for the curtail the spread of COVID-19, the initiative from government is about vaccine. And also the drive economic recovery was about Project Kecil and Geran Khas Prihatin. And also there are a lot of initiative from government under this package. Our government also introduced additional strategic program to empower the people and economy, also known like Pemerkasa Plus or Pemerkasa Tambahan. Under this package was highlight three main objectives. The first one objective is increasing public health care capacity. The second one, continuity the welfare agenda for the people. And the third one is supporting businesses continually. Under Pemerkasa Plus or Pemerkasa Tambahan, our government was introduced 12 initiatives. Like the example is Prihatin Special Grant, Microcredits Loan, Targeted Relief and Recovery Facility, and there are a lot of examples that initiative from government under additional Pemerkasa or Pemerkasa Plus. The last one of economic stimulus package is National People's Wellbeing and Economic Recovery Package, also known as like Pemuli. Under Pemuli package was highlight three main objectives. The first one objective is continuing the people's welfare agenda, supporting businesses, and the third one is increasing vaccination. The initiative from government, like example, Bantuan Grant Prihatin 4.0 and also 10% discount bill electric for affected sector until December 31.
The type of economic activity affected during the pandemic is travel company such as hotel, resort, and so on. They had to close the premise and lay off workers because there is no profit, so they cannot afford to pay the workers' salary. In addition, the catering company also affected as many events had to be postponed during the MCO. The restaurant business had to close due to lack of customer, resulting in huge losses. But there are some who are looking for opportunities through online sale. Lastly, transport companies such as taxi, bus, and plane get less demand as they are not allowed to cross the district. Economic activities like medical companies reap high benefits during this pandemic, such as the purchase of supplements like vitamin C, masks, and COVID-19 tests. Medical products are essential in preventing disease. Besides, e-commerce is gaining attention during this pandemic as everything is already turning to online. Digital platforms such as Shopee, Lazada, Foodpanda, and e-hailing platform can help entrepreneurs to promote their sales products. During this pandemic, courier companies increased because people like to buy goods online and need courier to deliver it safely. In addition, the community was unable to leave the house due to movement control order.
Changes in technologies and how technologies are being utilized during pandemic can be seen through online shopping and robot deliveries, digital and contactless payments, remote work, distance learning, telehealth, online entertainment, supply chain 4.0, robotic and drones, and 5G information and communication technology, which is ICT. COVID-19 has transformed online shopping from a nice to have to a must have around the world. Many delivery companies and restaurants are launching contactless delivery services, which goods are picked up or dropped off at a designated location instead of from or into the hands of a person. Now, contactless digital payments, either in the form of card or e-wallet, are the recommended payment method to avoid the spread of COVID-19. Digital payments enable people to make online purchases and payments of goods, services, and even utility payments, as well as to receive stimulus funds faster. Remote work is enabled by technologies including virtual private network VPNs, virtual meetings, cloud technologies, work collaboration tools, and even facial recognition technologies that enable a person to appear before a virtual background to preserve the privacy of the home. In addition to preventing the spread of viruses, remote work also save commute time and provides more flexibility. The following are some of the government's measures to address the pandemic situation in our country.
Based on this statement, we Malaysians have to accept the fact that the endpoint of pandemic COVID-19 in Malaysia is endemic stage, which we have to live with the viruses for maybe 10 years or maybe 15 years or maybe 100 years. And no one knows exactly when the COVID-19 pandemic will end. Even if the country enters an endemic phase, we still need to follow the SOP set by the government, as the move will allow various sectors in the country to open up and our life will return to normal in the new norms, inshallah. The reality is COVID-19 will leave a lasting imprint on the economy, causing permanent changes and teaching important lessons. Many of the problems we will face in the next decade will simply be more extreme versions of those that we already confront today. I believe our country will be better prepared in the face of future problems.